Now we have the what actually sets India Bangladesh. We have talked about majorly about disputes, the wars, the ups and downs in relations, how India liberated. But this is currently what is going on in the news and what makes India Bangladesh ties special. So here we have first. I have just segregated into different concepts or different categories, so it will be easier for you to remember and also write in mains if the question so appears. So one is defense cooperation. So these joint exercises, these have become very common. Recently India participated in an exercise in Russia by the name of Vostok. So these we have Simbex, India and Japan. We have very popular exercise known as Malabar between India, US, Japan. So these Jimex with Japan and India. So these you have to be very cautious from the point of view of prelims. So these are some of the important joint exercises between India and Bangladesh. This Sampriti is very important. It pertains to the exercises or collaboration between army. Tabletop is Air Force. In-bin Corpat in Navy. There is a Corpat with by the name of Corpat. There is an exercise with Thailand also. So you need to be this is India Bangladesh Corpat. Then exercise Bongo Sagar Navy Samvedna. This is disaster relief and humanitarian assistance. In this, other countries like Nepal and Bhutan are also involved. And of course, border management. Bangladesh crackdown against the anti-India elements to some in a measure of sorts to curtail the smuggling and the border infiltration and trafficking. So Bangladesh personnel have the army personnel have also cooperated in a major way with India. Then we come to the economic relations. So the bilateral trade, you can see that Bangladesh is India's largest trading partner in the subcontinent, not overall. That that distinction keeps revolving around US, China, UAE, so that you can find in the economic survey. So anyways, so this trade from $10.8 billion in 2021, it grew to a whopping staggering $18.2 billion in 21-22. And apart from that, in December 2020, an India Bangladesh CEOs forum. These are just fodder points, nothing to explain in this. Then this Bangladesh has appreciated the duty-free and quota-free access under the to the Bangladeshi exports under the SAFTA, that is the South Asian Free Trade Agreement. So it is estimated that in a few more years, Bangladesh will escape its categorization into least developed countries to the developing countries. And what has happened, like India is dealing with the its own issues regarding agricultural subsidies with the WTO. So similarly, when right now Bangladesh, when it exports its textiles or its agricultural crops to other countries, so it invites certain benefits in terms of very less or no tariff or import duties. And keeping that in mind, since in some years it will not be offered by other countries, so India has offered this quota-free access under SAFTA. Then Indian exports to Bangladesh account for more than 85% of the total bilateral trade. This is the 85% of the pie. And Bangladesh's exports to India has gone from only $304 million to $1.28 billion. So both ways, it's not only the big brother that is assisting or exporting its hi-fi commodities. Even Bangladesh has also become industrially and in terms of trade, it has become very competent. So three more areas, that is enhancing. This is very interesting point. So connectivity, a lot of developments. We have discussed some of the rail lines. I have told you a lot of destinations or cities in the map, also the peripheral railways or the border cities, Petrapol, Gede, Benapol and Jessore and all these cities. So this March 2021, this is a recent Maitri Setu, a 1.9 kilometer bridge built over Feni River joining Sabroom in India and Ramgarh in Bangladesh. So this Sabroom is in Tripura. I have not discussed the Feni River. It is a transboundary river going from Tripura to Bangladesh. I will just show you. So This is a picture of the river. Then some treaties. This is the protocol for the inland water transport, transit and transport. Then this is the BBIN. This is the Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal motor vehicle agreement. So this is in the pipeline. Then multilateral forums we have already: SAARC, that is the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Then BIMSTEC, that is a Bay of Bengal initiative for multi-sectoral technical and economic cooperation. So just have IORA is in the Indian Ocean Rim Association. So sometimes for prelims you can if I discuss some keywords, some abbreviations which will help you remember the countries. So for SAARC you can note down MBBS pain. This is all these letters signify the 8 countries of the SAARC forum, that is Maldives, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Afghanistan, India and Nepal. So you can remember this. Then BIMSTEC I have made not very attractive, but this is BMS, BIN and T. So again, this is Bangladesh. This is not Maldives, this is Myanmar. Then this is Sri Lanka. Then this is Bhutan. This is India, Nepal and finally Thailand. So these some you should keep on meeting. Again, IORA I am not discussing because these include a lot of countries, because Indian Ocean, again countries stretching all the way from Africa to the Indonesia and Malaysia region, all these come from the form part of the Indian Ocean realm. So this is the case. So again, these are the forums. Then the other areas, the line of credit. 3 lines of credit last 8 years, USD $8 billion. Roads, railways, majorly shipping, but now we have also engaged Bangladesh in the energy sector, green energy, hydrocarbon sector, oil, coal and petroleum, and artificial intelligence, cyber security, modern farming methods. So all these help in nurturing a healthy and sustainable relation between the two nations. Then this is the SAARC, the 8 countries. Then COVID-19 support. So Bangladesh, biggest recipient of Make in India COVID-19 vaccines, accounting for 16% of the total supply. And these are just the areas of cooperation: the roads, the rails, inland waterways. Then this vaccination. This is tourism and travel. So Bangladesh also gives visa. India gives visa to various Bangladeshi around lakh Bangladeshi nationals every year to come and see for tourist or medicinal purposes. India is very famous for medical tourism, and even in one article I was reading that some elite nationals, they chartered a personal aircraft and came to Kolkata especially to to see the screening of Bahubali. So these are some of the entertaining facts between the two nations. So I was talking about this Feni river. So this is actually the Feni river. So this is the place in this connects Tripura and this the Chattogram division in Bangladesh. Another recently this we have talked about the Maitri Setu. So this is the railway bridge that has been formed in collaboration between India and Bangladesh. So these are the basic Indo-India. So what's on the menu? Basically, what was the point or what was the main features of the visit of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to India? So these were some of the, of course, Teesta will always remain an issue. So this we had talked about river Kushiara, supply water to parts of lower Assam and Sylhet of Bangladesh. So agreement over how to manage and handle the waters of this river. Then this SEPA, the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, so that by the time Bangladesh graduates from the least developed to developing countries, these are also agreements. There are many such agreements like this. So these are basically the to reduce tariffs and make trade more effective or more feasible between two nations. Then this is the Rupsha rail bridge. It will help connecting Khulna and Mongla port. We have not discussed Khulna, but we have discussed the Mongla port. And Petrapol and Gede we have already discussed. Recently, in resuming in ties, another example that right now came to mind, that some rail services which had been going for a long time, they were obstructed or they were halted due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So they have been resumed also. So one such was, I'll just write down the names. One such was the Bandhan, which is the major train connecting Kolkata and Dhaka. Then one is the Maitri. This is different from the Maitri Setu. This is the Maitri Express. It basically connects the Khulna to Kolkata. And one more which is in the pipeline is the Mitali. Mitali is basically an express which is being planned between the New Jalpaiguri in West Bengal to Dhaka. So these are some of the important, just important facts. Then we have discussed this. Then Maitri, there is another besides this, the Setu and the express. There is also Maitri power plant. This is in the Rampal in Khulna division. We have discussed the Khulna division. I'll discuss the Rampal power plant. I'll have on the map. Then we have the flood information. So obviously right now, not only India, Bangladesh being a low-lying country, it is plenty of rivers, so it is very highly vulnerable and prone to massive flooding, especially during the monsoon season. So flood information can be shared, and some mitigation or adaptation measures. This is just common knowledge. Then Mujib scholarship for 200 family members of the personnel of the Indian military who were killed in the Liberation War of 1971. We have already discussed how important a figure was Sheikh Mujibur Rahman in the Indian relations. So this is important. Then of course personnel training, that is Ministry of Railways of both countries, the training of personnel of Bangladesh Railway in India. So these are some of the proactive and constructive measures which India has been constantly delving into and emphasizing upon to further enhance relations. So this is the Khulna division, and this is the Khulna city. This is the Khulna actually city also. This is the Rampal, this is the Maitri power plant in Rampal in the Khulna division, and this is the Mongla port. Some more places if they are left, we'll discuss. So this is what's on the menu. Then again, remaining cracks and irritants. Finally we are reaching at the end. No, not so quickly. So again, first of all, before there is a lot of discussion on TISTA, so let's just switch for a while. So Bangladesh has already raised concern. So National Register of there is a lot of clamor over the CA and National Register of Citizens, and there has been allegedly a lot of people who have been claimed to be living for generations in Assam. They have been removed from the National Register of Citizens, and also there is for long since 1971 war, there was a lot of influx of the refugees, and some of them are touted to be illegal migrants, and the local people also, a lot of conflicts and disparities in demography, they keep taking place. So these are of course have to be taken care of. Then Dhaka sees New Delhi. We have already discussed about the Rohingya issue. We'll discuss on the map as well. So Rohingya, Bangladesh wants India to be again take proactive and firm steps to help or aid Bangladesh in tiding over this issue, the problem. Then of course, like we say, in order to whenever Bangladesh is not happy with India, or in fact any country is not, Nepal for that instance, Bhutan for that instance, if it is not satisfied with India's response, so they refer to this character. We all know who this character is. So again, even in Teesta, for increasing the Teesta river flow also, the Bangladesh had some time back approached China to supply it with some modern facilities like the dredging facilities to avoid siltation in the Teesta, to avoid the buildup of sediments in the Teesta river. But that was vehemently approached by the Indian diaspora. And currently Bangladesh is an active partner of the Belt and Road Initiative that Delhi has not yet signed. So we have already discussed somewhat the maritime Silk Route while discussing Vikrant also. So this is the maritime Silk Route, and this is the land Silk Route, the revival of the land Silk Route of the yesteryears. So you can see how this maritime we had discussed, this going all the way to Venice in Italy, then it is Rotterdam, one of the important major ports in Netherlands. Then we know the Istanbul. Istanbul is the gateway to both. It is on the cusp or boundary of Europe and Asia in Turkey, Tehran, Almaty, Bishkek, Samarkand. Samarkand, you might have heard. Again, try to link all these. Like these are just coming to my mind. So Samarkand. Recently, the SCO Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting was held in Samarkand in Uzbekistan. Then SCO, another important fact you can note down that Iran has also expressed its intention to join the SCO. India and Pakistan are also members. Other members, it's your duty to find out. And again, security sector also, Bangladesh is a major recipient of the arms and ammunition. So Bangladesh is second biggest arms market for China. This is very scary fact. And and just some fact over the. So this Myanmar, this Rohingya issue. So these are some. This yellow portion is the Myanmar. This is the Rakhine state, from which the major outflux of the refugees has major persecutions of the ethnic Rohingyas have been taking place. So you can see right next to the border, the Rohingyas cannot go here. So they have to cross over this Arakan Yoma range. Then there is one small river here also. Some people are here also. So there is some one small river Naf here also, which is on the boundary of Bangladesh and Myanmar. So this Cox's Bazar, there it is the world's largest refugee camp. There's the Kutapalong, but Nayapara is also one of the refugee destinations. So that is the importance of this map I have shown. And one important refugee destination which always keeps cropping up in the news is this Bhashanchar Island. This is the Sandweep Island. This is the Bhashanchar. Now the interesting part of Bhashanchar is that this island has only relatively recently come up from the sedimentation over this Bay of Bengal. So Bhashanchar, char means that char refers to shifting islands. So these islands are normally not uniform or fixed in place. So these, due to sedimentation, because all these rivers are bringing lot of sediments, alluvial debris and all this, to build this, they are responsible for building this island. But again, as the sea levels are rising, so this is prone to massive flooding, and again relocation to this island would be of no use. So this is so before coming to the prelims and mains discussion, I'll just discuss the remaining parts of the map, which I found interesting. Hopefully you also would appreciate how much effort I've put. So this is basically the Cooch Behar. This crown symbolizes the erstwhile, this is one of the only kingdoms royal heritage, the areas of royal heritage which are left in North Bengal. Then this Siliguri, Jalpaiguri, we have discussed this rail links. Then we have discussed this rivers, Damodar, Haldia port. This is another important city, Jessore. And then we have Khulna, Barisal division, then Cox's Bazar, then the border region. We have not discussed border hearts till now. So one interesting concept. So you might have heard about Delhi Heart near INA, but this heart is somewhat similar, also somewhat different also. So I'm talking about border heart. So these are some these are known as, if I try to define it, these are known as rough and ready markets. Rough and ready markets, where the people on both sides of the border, the international border, the local people, they trade in the local commodities, whether it be agricultural goods or manufacturing goods. So it helps in maintaining that relation. And because earlier all these people, they intermingled with one another before the partition, so that culture is being carried forward. So some important these border huts, there are currently 4 in Tripura and 2 in Meghalaya. The stats keep on changing on different Google sites. So some I have given the example. This is the Kalaichur border hut between Meghalaya and Bangladesh. And Kalaichur, there is also Balat. I have not marked it on the map. There is also Balat place where the border hut exists. In Tripura, I have marked this Kamla Sagar. This is also border hut on the border. And one more place is Srinagar. This is Srinagar of Tripura. This is not the Srinagar of Jammu and Kashmir. There is also a place Srinagar in Tripura. So this is there. Then most of the places I have discussed on the map. This NH2, if you have read recently in the news, just go through it, not important. This border town of More is often in the news. It is an important border town in Manipur, Imphal. Then just last portions. So if you see here, we have discussed the peripheral railway line and the rail connecting border cities. This Kaladan multimodal project, IMT trilateral highway and BMIC corridor. So this Kaladan was earlier very popular. Now somewhat it is not being in the UPSC discussion. But anyways, so basically we were discussing about how Bangladesh was trying to use the Chinese influence to make India bend over, basically too. But you can see that this area, this small area, this is the only region. This is known as the Chicken Neck Corridor. This Chicken Neck Corridor is the only region which separates the India, which is sort of sandwich between India and the international countries. So China is always on the lookout. It has been alleged, or it has been suggested that if China is able to cut off this area somehow, so whatever little access, currently this is the only access route. If one has to go from this Bihar or West Bengal towards the northeastern states, so this is the only route. Otherwise there is there is only the maritime route, and that also Tripura and Mizoram, they don't share the border with the Bay of Bengal and any other ocean. So there also we have in talks the development of the multimodal multimodal projects between India and Bangladesh. So this is what it will envisage, is that from Kolkata to Haldia we go, and from Haldia by the ship route, the waterway, we go to Sitwe, one of the important ports in Myanmar. Then following the inland waterway of the Kaladan river from Sitwe to Paletwa in Myanmar, and finally from Paletwa all the way by the border, the roads this crossing the border, and NH2 of India to Longtlai in. So this will be much more efficient route for many of the transportation cargo purposes. This New Moor Island, if you have not very important from now, New Moor Island was a point of dispute between India and Bangladesh. So again, this is the IMT trilateral highway, this brown line. So this exists from More all the way to as we go down these places in Myanmar, and finally it enters to one place in Thailand. And another important is the BMIC corridor, that is the Bangladesh Myanmar. So this is This starts at Kolkata, then Dhaka, then Mahishashan, Imphal, More, then Kalewa, Mandale, important city in Myanmar, and finally in China as well, the Kunming. So this is holistic map. Okay, so this is the this appeared in the 2020 prelims, so you can read the statements. So this again is basically factual question. You need to be aware some questions can be attempted on the basis of logic and some otherwise also. So here I'll just straight away go to the answer. So here the value of, here it is written value of Indo-Sri Lanka trade has, but normally this kind of it is a generalistic statement. This kind of trade, it fluctuates massively between any two countries. So you have to be careful. You can try to eliminate this kind of statements, because as you can see there was a continuous fluctuation in the trend of trade. Then second, textile and textile articles, important item of trade, India and Bangladesh, we have already discussed that, so statement 2 is correct. Then in the last 5 years Nepal has been the largest trading, which we have discussed already. Bangladesh is the largest trading partner in South Asia, so this is also discussed. So again, reference to river Teesta, this was in 2017. River Teesta same as the Brahmaputra, so obviously it is incorrect. Then river Rangit originates in Sikkim, tributary of river Teesta, this we have discussed. River Teesta flows into Bay of Bengal on the border of India and Bangladesh. So will this be correct? You try and answer. So this is actually incorrect. The option should have been incorrect. So 1 and 3 are incorrect. The option is 2 only. Or if I just forward to move the cursor downstairs, down. So the answer in case of correct will be 2. In case of incorrect will be 1 and 3. Then some of the common rivers between India and Bangladesh. Now even if you are not aware of, I have not discussed all the rivers, or you have no information. Some of the rivers which we have already discussed, like Kushiara and Teesta are there. Kaladan is between India and Myanmar. So this can be eliminated. So 3 is eliminated, and we know that 2 and 4 are already there. So obviously this Dharia river will also be a common river between India and Bangladesh. So 1, 2 and 4. So you can revise the rivers. You can go back in the video and visit the map. And one sample question I have just given you for practice. So instead of Bangladesh, central loan in India's neighborhood first policy, there are still major issues. So here again we have to you have to be careful about the keyword, that is examine. You have to consider each and every portion of the statement, each and every board, like an examiner does. You have to break down into component parts. And here again, although it is 150 words, but you can straight away write a nice introduction that you can write about the linguistic relationships and the trade. You can start with a nice introduction giving some facts, and then straight in about 15-20 words. Then in the body you can make 2 parts. One is the why does Bangladesh play a central role in India's neighborhood first policy, because where a lot of trade is there. It helps in countering China also. It helps in spreading its influence. It helps in catering to the needs of the Look East policy, that is one of the important policies. It also provides gateways to the Southeast Asian countries. So these points, and already we have discussed a lot of points in the slides, you can write, and major issues you can discuss, like we have just before we have discussed. And again, in the conclusion you can give a nice writing, nice that although there are some issues general there with greater cooperation, and you can mention some other facts. So this will become a whole answer. You can write and submit it to me. So with that we are just approaching the end. So currently what conclusion can we make? Bangladesh is heading for elections in probably 2023. So obviously the people out there, they are the ones who have to elect the government. We have India has collaborated, it has helped Bangladesh grow, but India can do only this much. If the response, the Bangladesh, whatever relations we have nurtured, even Sheikh Hasina kept on emphasizing during her visit to India, that these have to be these bilateral relations, all these cooperation, trade and economic developments, and some irritants or the chasms like that issue bit of the China and Tista, they have to be kept in mind, and these should be resolved as soon as possible. So there was also a quote by Sheikh Hasina which said, Bangladesh is not a rich country, but we have a big heart. So by big heart, I can also refer to the Bangladesh cricket team, which although always they are considered as the underdogs, but they are one of the, like the tiger is the national animal of India, so they are also the Bangladesh tigers. So in a way, Bangladesh India relations become very important, and that way also, just to put this in perspective, rich country, you have to have a big heart, or you have to keep an open mind to obtain knowledge, because that knowledge about whatever we are studying right now is never going to go anywhere. You just have to revise that, and I'll keep on making more such videos, although it takes a lot of time, but these will definitely help you in progressing some way or the other. So with that, till we meet next time, Jai Hind.